What you do it on the
Hey everybody, this is Pete and Jule, and we are Disney fans, fanatics, geeks, nerds, whatever you want to call us. We've been coming to Disney ever since 2008 with the family. We went with her family back in 1994, but we've always had a kind of a love affair.
Yes.
Love affair. Okay, we'll call it a love affair with basically Walt Disney World. We've her in her past has gone went to Disneyland when she was a wee little tyke.
Well, no, not when I was wee little tyke. I was a teenager.
She was a teenager.
Yeah.
Well, compared to what we are now, that's a wee
I guess
little.
I was kind of a wee little tyke compared to now.
And if you would ever saw her when I met her, she was kind of smallish. We're going to talk today mainly about our favorite things. In future times, we'll talk about how it is different for someone who lives only an hour and a half away compared to someone who lives 8 hours away or 12 hours away or has to get on an airplane to do it.
I was going to say some kind of live even further than that away.
Yeah. But with that said, we're going to start off about some of our favorite things, and we'll start it off with, let's just do the easy one. What's our favorite park? Now, I'm pretty sure we're going to disagree on this.
Probably. I would say so.
What's yours?
I would probably give mine to Epcot. Epcot's just got a little bit of things for everybody in our family, and that makes things a little nicer. It's got some rides that are very accommodating to a wheelchair when I have Wyatt with us. Also, it's got, you've got your adult beverages. I always like a glass of wine. I know, shocker. But I enjoy the time I spend there. It gives me a really good walk. I like getting the exercise there. There's just a whole lot to do for everybody, and there's just shows. There's a lot to eat and a variety of things to eat. That's the best part of the whole thing. I mean, you've got everything from sushi all the way to hamburgers, so you just never know what you're gonna get. So everything's a little bit. I think it's just a little more of a creative space, in my opinion, for us to be able to go. We get to do a lot. So.
Okay. As I said, we're going to disagree. Not that I dislike Epcot or any of the parks, but I will say that my favorite park is the Magic Kingdom, mainly because of nostalgia. It makes me feel like a kid again. Then again, if you know me, I feel like a kid anywhere I go. Jule, my lovely wife, mentioned this guy. Say hi, Wyatt. Now, he is our youngest child. We have two others who are flown the nest, sort of. One of them might be coming back this summer. But they've kind of...
They've left.
They've left.
They're
getting ready to start their lives. Not that they have totally disappear. Actually, our oldest boy, our oldest son, or our oldest child, lives only about an hour and a half. Yeah. He lives actually closer to the Magic than we do. But he will probably be moving in with us this summer. He's finishing up his college there. Now, I like the Magic Kingdom, and here's why. As I said, it makes me feel it's got the castle. It's got some of my favorite memories, probably more than anything. when you hear some of my other favorite things to do, you might think, well, are you sure Magic Kingdom is your favorite? But trust me, it is. I still get the feels every time I walk around the corner and look at the castle, no matter how long ago it was. And for general purposes, it was just this past Tuesday. So I like Epcot a lot too, as you'll probably find out later. With that. Okay. One thing about Disney is that they have basically two major types of restaurants. You have either a quick service or a table service. And a table service is just, like a regular restaurant where you're
seated.
Get seated and they take your order, or you have a buffet, or
yes,
something like that. And quick service is basically you go up, you order it, then you go wait for it and go sit down, hopefully someplace other than the top of a trash can.
Never know.
Or if you're smart, you go and find a place to sit down and then have somebody else go up and get your order. It's kind of what we do, especially when we have Wyatt. But I'm going to start this one off. I'm going to say my favorite quick service restaurant is the Polite Pig, which is in Disney Springs, which isn't technically one of the theme parks. It's not. It's a shopping area. It's a dining and shopping area, but they also have some entertainment and stuff. And you will probably hear a lot more about that in either this one or other ones.
What does Polite Pig have then?
Polite Pig is basically barbecue. And barbecue.
And a lot of barbecue.
Yeah, it's very good though. It's considered one of the best barbecue spots in all of
Orlando, really.
In all of Florida.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of
Orlando, now you probably have some mom and pop dives that people will argue with you, but it gets a lot of awards.
Yes, it does.
So and now here's another disagreement.
Well, that's okay. The one I picked actually, I've kind of got a couple only because there's one in particular I like. However, what I've realized is I don't think it belongs. It's a little like the Polite Pig. It's not really a Disney restaurant or a Disney quick service place, but it's the Blue Ribbon Corn Dog stand outside of the Boardwalk resort. It is the Blue Ribbon Corn Dog place is not on the list. When you look it up, you won't find it in the list of the Disney restaurants. I couldn't find it. So I guess it must be owned by someone else. But they have different kinds of corn dogs. They have a very good sized corn dog. I mean, even though it's a regular corn dog and you think of something small, I mean, it's not a foot long, but it's definitely a large corn dog, and it fills you up. So it makes you full. You're good to go with that. They also have different kinds of corn dogs. They have one that's like a Mexican flavor with kind of like with the cheese, kind of a Mexican street corn, yeah, kind of thing. They also had a pickle with the corn. The hot dog goes right through it, and then that's all fried together. The pickle dog.
It was okay.
But it's a really good place if you want like a quick meal, and their corn dog, the regular corn dogs are really good, and the Mexican one was very, very good. Good place to go, I think, for lunch. Plus, he was talking about Disney Springs. I also enjoy going to Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar. It's got a lot of little bites, and their little bites are all unique. They really work. They've even got one that's sort of like a volcano. It comes to your table and you've got smoke coming out of the item when you're getting some food. So, I mean, you get some very unique things at the Hangar Bar. And so I would say those are probably my two favorites.
Okay, I'm going to have to agree with her. Both the places are very good. Jock Lindsay's actually around Christmas time. kind of has
it's an overlay.
It's themed towards Christmas.
Yeah.
A lot of places do that at Disney. And I like that. Now, going on to table service, and now this is one where we kind of actually, I think we agree. On at least the main one, and it is for me it is at Epcot, and it's called the Beer Garden. It is it's a buffet, and it's basically German meats, sausages, potatoes, desserts. If you want a good apple strudel, there is some pastas and stuff,
and salad stuff. Yeah.
It's not, for what you pay, you get
a lot.
You can get a lot if you go hungry. Don't go there if you're going, oh, I just want a small bite to eat. No,
it's not a small bite to eat.
It is
definitely not.
And you make your reservation, and it is actually kind of it sounds bad. It's an easy reservation to get.
Usually
for what is for as good as it is, it's usually correct. It's got a lot of places for people to sit too. It's not a small little intimate restaurant either. They have entertainment there. The Oompa Band. It's very fun. If you have a child who tends to be a little loud, don't worry about going there because it's loud in there anyway.
Yeah. It's very busy.
It's good for the kids because they can get up and even dance and do all that stuff. And it's a very good thing. And the food's really good too. If you like that type of food. And I do. So, yeah. Go ahead.
I agree on that with the Beer Garden in Epcot because I think it does have a lot of really good stuff, and it has a little bit for everybody. I made the comment to him earlier that even if you're not somebody who loves German food, there is a section for people who may not be interested in that, who want the meat and potatoes, and it's got some fairly meat and potatoes kind of meals if that's what you want. But it definitely also has, like, it has a cold potato salad and a hot potato salad. So, I mean, depending on what kind you want, you're going to get it.
Hot potato cold,
yeah. But my other favorites, and this is where we kind of talked about it a little bit, I like Raglan Road Irish Pub, and that is in Disney Springs. It serves, as you can tell, Irish food. And they have actually at certain times of the day, they have live entertainment also. They have some cloggers that clog on the top of the bar, and on there's various places throughout the restaurant where they will put down like pieces of wood, and that they have dance shoes on, and they will come and dance by your table too. So it is Irish food, so like you're getting some authentic stuff. So if you go there and you think, I've had this before somewhere else and I think it'll be good again, you may be surprised. You may want to ask them before you order anything to make sure it's going to taste like you're expecting. And so that's another one of my favorites.
And with the Raglan Road, I like it. However, I'm usually eating at the Polite Pig if I'm in Disney Springs. Unless we have a reservation for somewhere else.
You eat there sometimes.
I do, but usually there are times when we split up. You'll make that. Then make that reservation for Raglan Road, and I'll just go over to Disney Spring. I mean, to Polite Pig or some other place instead. If I'm not really that hungry. Not to say that you don't eat a lot at.
Both places have lots of food.
But we said okay. We did quick service. We did snacks. Now I kind of have two. I have a savory, and I have a sweet, and they're both in the Magic Kingdom. But this is not the reason why I like the Magic Kingdom. My savory snack is a at a spring roll cart, they have these cheeseburger spring rolls, and you get 2 of them for about $11, and they are.
Oh yes,
they're good. They come with a sauce. You don't need it. Some people like it. It's like kind of a Thousand Island type thing that you dip, and but it'll fill you up enough. If you're not that hungry and you're looking for a quick lunch, go there. And as a matter of fact, it was eating these that actually led to us being chosen to be grand marshals one day at the Festival of Fantasy Parade back in a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
My sweet one is a ice cream cookie sandwich at the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor, right across from Casey's, right around the corner from the Plaza Restaurant. There's an ice cream parlor. You go in there and you get these 2 homemade chocolate chip cookies, and you can put any flavor ice cream in between them. It is decadent and it is good. I usually get a cookies and cream one, but and it's my go-to if I want something really sweet. Now, not to say that there's not any other things sweet that I eat. I eat a lot of sweet stuff there, but there. Okay, here's my wife.
And I kind of broke mine up a little bit. I did agree with the cheeseburger spring rolls. I think those are a wonderful savory snack. Sometimes even lunch, depending on how hungry we are or whatever.
I had a hard time putting them, whether it was quick service or
I get that.
whether it was a snack, but I consider it a snack.
It is. It really is. But and I like that. It's a wonderful, and it's got enough. There's not seating there per se, but there's enough space there. There's like a tree there that there has like an area around it where you can kind of sit on the bench there. Mm-hmm. And so that's a really good savory one. I also like, this is one that's like a beverage, but it is kind of a sweet kind of thing. It's called the Viking Coffee, and that's in Epcot at the Norwegian area.
Yep.
The Viking Coffee can be with or without alcohol, and it's kind of a chocolatey coffee, but it's got a little bit of a, almost like a Jamocha kind of flavor to it. You can get it hot or cold. I really like it better cold, but it's good both ways. And so it's kind of nice to be able to sit, especially in the summer, and sit at one of the tables and be able to have a little bit of kind of a coffee ice cream when you're done. It feels like you got a little coffee ice cream. I also like, and we don't get this as often, but I do like it, is the French bread loaf. When you go to the French Pavilion area, there is a bread loaf that you can get, and like I said, we haven't gotten it often. We've gotten it once, I think, but it is one of those. We usually try to get their French bread in general if we can get it in some form, some way.
Yeah.
So
that's it. That's good. Okay, I'm hungry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You got more?
Did you?
Oh, dessert. I think I kind of had.
You did, because you talked about the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor. I will tell you, there is Les Artisans de Glaces, which is they have at this area in France. They also have, it's basically kind of your
baguette.
It's like a baguette kind of thing, or like a croissant kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they have ice cream that you can put it, and then they put it in like a panini press kind of idea. So you've got like a warm, crispy, but also ooey gooey kind of sandwich.
It's kind of almost like a fried
similar.
ice cream. Not.
It's good. Yeah. It's just really good. That's a very good place. And also Amoret Patisserie, which is in Disney Springs, has anything you ever wanted that was dessert. They've got it, and they've got it Disney shaped, which makes it even more fun. You go in there, and there are hats that look they're shaped like Mickey. There will be Mickey ears. There'll be the Pixar ball sometimes and it's usually got that on the outside, and it's like ooey gooey chocolate stuff on the inside. It's just fantastic, and it's fun to go to.
It is. If you ever see, basically Disney cakes or anything, chances are it's coming from there.
Patisserie.
Yeah. I mean that if you got it, you got it at Disney, it's coming from there. So, anything else on dessert side? And as I said, my favorite dessert is the ice cream sandwich. I guess.
I agree.
If you know,
I would. Oh, one thing that you didn't mention about the ice cream. At Christmas time, they also have another kind of overlay. So sometimes the cookies will sometimes be different. It won't always be chocolate chip cookies. There are sometimes like it's a red velvet cake kind of cookie with like peppermint ice cream, and that's their Christmas one. But that's the one that they do for Christmas time. So like, I mean, you can get different flavors depending on kind of what season it is. Halloween's got a little different one too. I think you can
still get the
you can, but I'm just saying those are their like specialty ones.
Yeah. And a lot of places at Disney have special desserts or special snacks or special savory stuff too. Especially like the Magic Kingdom and places that have those parties. And we're not getting into the parties because those are...
that'll be another time and day.
But sometimes they do have them that are available all day long. So it's not just the parties. So, and didn't even mention popcorn, and probably my favorite popcorn is the maple popcorn at Canada. Too. So
that's good. But
that's another thing. Okay, that's another snack that didn't.
I know there's lots of them.
Rides, attractions, rides. They're called attractions when you get to. I know, and we're gonna break this down from rides to shows. Which is kind of difficult for me because my favorite ride is a show.
Well, that's what I would say. Some of them you notice.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I did it with both. Because sometimes they come out and call them shows.
Now, in the Magic Kingdom, I will say that my favorite attraction is the Carousel of Progress. And that could be either a show or a thing, but I'm going to consider it a ride. It's an attraction, and I have another one, but I've only ridden it once. However, I mean another favorite ride. However, it replaced was one of my favorites. My all-time favorite ride at Walt Disney World was Splash Mountain. However, we just rode Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and we have a feeling this is going to be it's going to be good.
Yep.
We spent the time Tuesday kind of going, okay, what do we feel about it? And we both kind of agree that it's really good.
Yes.
Carousel Progress is just another one of those nostalgic things. That is something that we always have to do when we're in the Magic Kingdom. If we're in the Magic Kingdom, we got to go there. Yeah. And there's another one at Epcot, and I'm going to even say that too, because that is, well, I'll save that for the shows.
Okay, and I had a Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which it does not follow the story that you know of the Princess and the Frog.
No,
it doesn't follow that. It kind of gives you an idea. Same characters, just gives you an idea outside of it. Like, she's having a party, she needs music, how is she going to get some new musicians? And it's her search for the new musicians, is what that is. And then Carousel of Progress is also good, but he is right, it is kind of a show also. But it's kind of a look through the progress of time, and Walt Disney actually created Carousel of Progress. That's his own invention.
For the 64 World's Fair.
He had
along with another one that shall not be named.
Right.
Because the song just makes me go, ah! Oh, okay.
Okay, don't do that. Okay. But, so, needless to say, both of those are very good, and I know we'll do it. My favorite, though, is that Magic Kingdom. My favorite's the Haunted Mansion. I would go on the Haunted Mansion a million times, and the queue makes it even more fun.
Yeah.
They have one of the best queues. There are so many things to see that I promise you'll go through it and you didn't see it all. No matter, I mean, I can guarantee you will not see it all. Mm-hmm. Some of it won't be happening at the time. There are some things that in the queue that if the machines are not on, they're not necessarily working at the time. There's also things to see. There are headstones. There are even some hidden like Easter eggs in there of like old rides that used to be around. There is
Mr. Toad.
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And but the Haunted Mansion, the story in and of itself, of course, if anybody's seen the movie, you've got a Haunted Mansion and you've just gone in and you're stuck. You might end up stuck in that place forever and become the 1,000th haunt.
Yeah, happy haunt.
I'd be a happy haunt. And if you get out, you might also carry one of the ghosts with you. You never know. But I just absolutely love. Like I said, I love it. I would do it, and they keep changing it and keep adding to it and doing new stuff to it. So we now have the Hatbox Ghost that they had to have it in California, but we just never had it. Now we've got it too in Florida.
We got it. You don't have it.
So that's my favorites. Did you want me to? Or are you going to?
You can go ahead and start the shows.
Okay, the shows. Again, as he said, Carousel of Progress is sort of a show, and at the same time, kind of the rides. You've got kind of a mix there with that one. I mean, it's not a big ride,
but
it's
more
still,
of a show.
And it does cool you down. I will tell you, it's a wonderful place to go if it's hotter than Blue Blazes outside. You got a good 20 minutes to sit inside in air conditioning. So always look at it like that, if nothing else.
And if you're tired, you can take a nap.
And sing with everybody else that's singing. Just remember to sing the music. But the other things I would say is, well, we go to it every time we go to Epcot. We have to see the American Adventure Show.
Yeah.
I cry every time we watch it. It's got so many pieces of history to it, and my dad was in World War II, so I think of my dad on Iwo Jima. Every time the guys raise the flag near the end, there's tears to my eyes. So but the show is kind of, it's got the animation, or it's got the auto animatronics with it, but you've also got part of like a movie at the same time. Right. So you're watching a little bit,
and the soundtrack is awesome,
and it is a wonderful soundtrack. So that's a good one. And then Festival of the Lion King, if you're in Animal Kingdom, don't miss that. That's got a lot of physical, like there's acrobats and fire eaters, and you've got everything from A to Z at the Festival of the Lion King.
Fire eaters, I think they're twirlers.
Maybe he is just a twirler. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't remember for
I don't
sure.
Really know.
I thought he did, but maybe I'm wrong on that. But it's a really good show to go see. It's just wonderful, and you get to participate, so it's a whole lot of fun.
Especially the kids.
Yes.
Totally agree. Each and every one of those. I might add something that a lot of it's not there anymore. How for shows, I'm going to say, they used to have a lot of good street performers. They still do, but it's just not. It's just not as what they used to. I think of the citizens of Hollywood that were in Hollywood Studios. It's something which I haven't mentioned, and I love Hollywood Studios. But they don't have those anymore. But they have the Dapper Dans, which are at Magic Kingdom, and they're singing quartet. They're like a barbershop quartet that sing up and down Main Street for part of the day. I think of they started bringing back some stuff around Christmas time. They had a band at Hollywood Studios that played Christmas songs and also Disney songs too. And Goofy's son Max was out there with them all the time.
That was fun.
But they also have it, and and if you go around, sometimes in Epcot, you have some of those.
Well, you have at the American Adventure.
Oh yeah,
you have
and that was the other one.
It's called the Voices of Liberty.
Voices of Liberty.
And the Voices of Liberty sing before your performance each and every time, and they always have a whole lot of fun. Those guys, and they're very talented.
Very talented.
Very talented.
They usually sing about 3 or 4 songs, usually ending up with Star Spangled Banner. Except around Christmas time, they're doing more Christmas stuff, but it's not Christmas time yet, although there's only 298 days away.
He had to tell you, you know that.
But yeah, the Voices of Liberty, sometimes I think of the Voices of Liberty as part of the American experience. It just kind of flows into that show.
It does, kind
of. That's really there. Okay, and now we're going to go to resorts. This is a tough one for me because if I'm going with one that I really would really like to stay at every time, but I just can't. And it's kind of difficult because we don't go to the resorts that much anymore.
No.
We live, as I said, only an hour and a half away. Now, there are times when we will spend 2 or 3 days if we get a good discount, and we will go. But we usually choose more of, okay, we want to spend a lot of time at Hollywood Studios and Epcot, so we'll go on the Skyliners. But my favorite resort, probably, I would say the Fort Wilderness campgrounds and cabins. However, we haven't been back since the cabins have changed over to DVC. So that, but to really honestly, that's my favorite. And I wouldn't mind going to one of those and staying at one of those too. So, okay.
And I was going to add to what you said, just because out where the cabins are, they're also very, very close. Like the cabins go a certain area out, and then the rest of the way out is a place for people who have campers. So if you either you have a camper or you've rented a camper and you want to stay there for a little while, these people like literally will stay, for weeks at a time. And so they, especially like at Christmas time, they put up all their decorations. So like you can take your kids walking along the campground and just kind of walking around and seeing all the different tents, what the tents have put up or what the campers have put up. And some of them are literal tents. We've like come across areas where it's not just a campground. It'll be like a tent in the middle of that campground.
You can have a tent. You can have tents there. It is the probably least expensive way of staying on site.
Yeah.
Most of the year. Now, if you are going there and if you have your own RV, then it's cheaper. But if you're going to rent an RV from off-site and they can bring it in, and that's an option, those do tend to run a little bit for, a higher price than you might think. However, it's usually still cheaper to do that if you're thinking about saving money.
It is.
However, we stay at the cabins, which are more of a moderate style.
Yeah.
Moderate price-wise.
Yeah.
They're not the highest. They're not the lowest. They're
right in between.
Right in between.
But I do have one more.
I know.
My resort, my favorite place to stay is Old Key West. Old Key West has a little bit of a beachy feel. You get kind of a little bit of a not nautical, not like in that realm, but definitely like you're in a like a little bungalow on the beach. That's how you feel.
Even though you're not on the beach.
Even though you're not on the beach, you feel that way. And it's got a lot of space. It's kind of nice because everybody's got their own space. Even when we went with like 9 people and stayed in one of these where it was, and I think it was a 3-bedroom.
No, I think it was a 2-bedroom.
Was it 2-bedroom?
2-bedroom, yeah.
It was either
the 2-bedroom and girls and stayed out.
That's what I say. The girls stayed in the other room. Well, and I think Nick was with us too. That's what I'm saying.
Nick stayed in our room because he slept with Wyatt.
With Wyatt, okay. And the girls, did stay. It was Rachel and Rebecca and Corey all stayed in the kind of the living room area. But one of the chairs turned into a bed. One of the couches turned into a bed. They got to kind of do that. And there's also a TV out there, so they could have their stuff on. You got a TV in your room. You can be watching what you want to watch with everybody in your room. And then you've got another space, and there's like there's 2 bathrooms in the thing. So you've got like a very large space you're working with.
Big bathroom.
Big bathroom. Very large space that everybody can kind of work with, and a nice kitchen.
Laundry.
The kitchen and laundry were very nice too. We were able, to keep our laundry done up, and you didn't have to take home a bunch of dirty laundry and do that as soon as you got home. You were ready to go. It was nice.
And I will say that both places, you can be there, and yes, there are little remnants of Disney all around, but you feel that you could spend your time there and not have to worry about the rest. I mean, it's really both places. You could just have what we call staycations there.
Yes,
and
I think that's why we like those,
and not do that, and and if you're a walker. There are good trails around, I shouldn't trails, but there's things there. Now, transportation to and from the parks is a little different, but that's why, we tend to drive everywhere. So we have our own car usually. Both have, if you have a family of 5 or 6, both places are, accommodating to you, and not all places in Walt Disney World are that way. They basically look towards 4. 4 is the most, 4 adults. And I will say one other thing too. When he says that, like for example, Art of Animation, technically they have rooms where you can do the family of 6, but you've also got a lot more. There's a lot of noise and action. So if you're wanting a place where you can kind of come back and you're not having all of that, all of the clutter, the people, the talking, everybody's just busy. And I mean, nobody's doing it on purpose, but they're just, they've had a good time. They're woohoo, they're excited, and you're thinking, okay, I'm ready for bed. I'm tired. The nice thing about the cabins and the nice thing about Old Key West is you've got kind of the space a little more to yourself. It's isolated compared to, you're not like right on top of everybody. So. I agree. And I love them both. If I'm going to say I'm going on a budget, and cost is a thing. You have your value resorts, and we're going to end on the resorts because this is going to be long. I would say the value resorts. You have Pop Century. You have, as Jule said, Art of Animation. However, those suites do tend to be a little bit more expensive than what we consider value. Yes, but you are considering that you're spending. Usually, most people are bringing anywhere from 6 to 9 people in a lot of those places, 6 to 8 at least. Well, those suites only house 6. But there are some. But I'm saying there are some other places. Technically, there's tree houses, folks. Well, those villas in Saratoga Springs. But when I'm talking about, if you're thinking about cost and you're just a regular family that, you have the values, and then as we said, you have the moderates, and then you have what are called deluxes, and actually, Old Key West would be considered a deluxe resort. And a lot of the times it's based on how close you are to an actual park. Yeah, it is. We'll get into that though. And we'll get into that later, but and we'll talk about that. I think either we're going to talk about dining, or we're going to talk about resorts again next week. And peace out. Peace. Say bye, Wyatt. He's out. Bye. Bye.